Hello, I'm John D. Riley, researcher with Zero Point Research. Today is November 4th, 2011, and I am guided to share a very interesting message of the coming events that are happening on this planet within the next week. And that is about the 11-11-11 consciousness that is in the event that is happening on a very high conscious human scale on this planet. What is very interesting is that many are being called to go to very sacred places on the planet. And sometimes when we think of sacredness, we might think of Egypt, we might think of Machu Picchu, we might think of India. But we also have to realize that the accumulation of energies that have been happening on the planet, the cities that we live in, like being in Los Angeles, known for the city of angels, and the level of consciousness here that we work with to spread this energy across from the west to the east. So this is a very interesting time that is happening on the planet. Yes, we are getting our orders in many different ways. So many people are feeling passionate pulls to go to different places. We have 28 people that are arriving in Egypt. We will all be in Cairo on the 8th, all gathering, realizing that something amazing is happening. And it's not just us. There are so many other groups that are going to meet us there that we're just feeling the vibration. And we're all connecting on such a conscious level. And this is where it's getting quite amazing. I mean, the pull, when I spoke to some people, it was not about money, it was not about anything else. They were just feeling the strong call. And this is when we understand, in the aspects of understanding the ancient mystery school teachings, is to really trust our internal guidance. Go deep within and listen to the voices. Listen to that centering, that quiet whisper that is within each one of us. And it is to remove all obstacles that once we hear this voice and it leads us, then we remove all obstacles from our three-dimensional illusion matrix that will create a path of great difficulty. So bringing balance out of chaos is the key aspect of what is happening on this planet. To look at it from a solar consciousness standpoint, we are seeing an event that is happening which has great significance that is going to be very important on the when we talk about the shift of the consciousness on the planet. There is a sunspot that is emerging from the east of the eastern limb of the sun, and it's sunspot 11339. This is the one that we want to pay a great deal of focus on. At this point in time, it's actually one of the largest sunspots seen in many years. And yesterday, it already released an X-class solar flare. Fortunately, it was not Earth-facing, and I think it actually went to Mercury. The ejection actually hit Mercury. But the aspect of what does this mean to us? Well, I was doing the math on it, and around 1111, that sunspot 11339 will actually be facing directly towards the Earth. And this is where it's going to be very interesting, because what's happening on 11-11-11 is there's a conscious collective of people all around the planet coming together, not necessarily communicating with each other on the phones or the internet. It's about we're all stepping up to do this great work on this day. And for myself and the 28 others that are traveling with me, we've all agreed to be on top of Mount Moses in the Sinai. And it was very clear when I was in India earlier this year. I heard it very clearly was to be on the Sinai on 11/11 to hear the higher voices. So this is something, and it was confirmed. I actually heard it when I was in Egypt in the Great Pyramid last year. It was just a silent whisper that came in, and it's a little hard to explain, but I think most of you understand what I mean when a silent whisper comes in of such grace and definitiveness in its energy, its purity in its energy. And these are the things that we have a hard time denouncing, especially when they come from our own self. Yes, we do question it, and I did question it, and it actually was actually a little bit more profound in regards to what my journey is here for this year. And I never would have thought by the end of this year I would have stepped into 7 different countries and at least 4 sacred mountains. I was in Japan twice this year, where I actually went to Mount Fuji. I went to India, where I went to Arunachala Mountain, which is one of the most sacred mountains, and also Mahadevamalai, which is an amazing mountain that's also known as Shiva's mountain, where I met the 19th Siddha, who with his incredible beingness of being a living saint, giving us incredible gifts that are planted deep inside us. They're not instantaneous, where we don't go into an instantaneous transformation where we come before Him. It is something that we must find within ourselves. So this is something that has been really amazing. And finding that grace and that true gift is something so profound. And connecting the dots, of this reality is the most important part of this journey now. And that's a linearity of your own life. And connecting the dots of the significances of your experiences that it might have happened 20, 30, 40 years ago in conjunction to the now. And realizing what you did 20, 30, or 40 years ago and how it pertains to this moment. So when we understand the conscious aspect, when we take this global shift, some people say it's 10%. We just, on Halloween, we actually officially hit 7 billion people on this planet. And a lot of people talk about the 10% factor. Or they talk about 700 million people that have the ability to shift consciousness. When we understand it's literally just 1% of this that will make the change on this planet. And 1% are actually being truly called to do this higher level work, to remove all obstacles and to literally come into the path of realization. So we literally have the ability to shift into this oneness or unity or unification, where you can see it from many different perspectives and understand it from so many different aspects. But this is the key, is to go deeply within and understand what 11/11 significance this year means to us. It has nothing, when we understand the Mayan calendar, there are calibrations that are slightly off in regards to the actual final end of the Mayan calendar. A lot of people were focusing on October 28th. And I had many people asking me, well, what do you think is going to happen? I said, October 28th is not the significance. If I was going to put my focus, I'd put it on 11/11/11, because everyone sees that. And it's something that is happening within our consciousness. We see these numbers of 11/11, and we start to wonder, what does this mean? Why do I keep seeing it? When we start seeing these sequences. So this is something that doesn't even need to be explained. So many people just feel it instantaneously. And this is the most important part at this time, is to get in touch with that guidance. This is where the path will become amazing once we truly allow this to happen. Now, what's going to happen with the sun on 11/11/11? Well, that's going to be very interesting. We already seen some tremendous activity from 11339. And is it going to continue? Well, that'll be very interesting, because our consciousness actually dictates some of the outcomes when we understand the reality. And even when I went to India and just talked to some of the people that keep the messages, that hit the knowledge of the ancients for thousands of years, they understand that we choose our own realities. So it is about our vibration. And this is the most important part, is to really set the highest vibration possible within you. Go deep within and bring up your happiest of memories and your happiest of possibilities in your life. What you want to see the world to be, and really focus, really stay into the highest. Literally go outside yourself. Things that are not even imaginable. And let it come. Let it come within your imagination. Watch what happens to your frequency when you embrace this level. And it'll just happen within you, and what you can feel in that moment just because of your thoughts. This is where it gets very interesting, because we have to understand we have to become responsible for our thoughts, because a negative thought brings us into a negative frequency. It's very easy to feel that in our physical body once we become aware. So this is a great day of awareness, and very important. As we set off, and we will be holding and anchoring the energy in Egypt on 11/11, we will start the conscious wave. And when we understand it all starts in Egypt, we understand what happened last year, the significances of what was building up to the first of the year, and what has happened when it started in Egypt with the uplifting of the people, the uprising of the people. When we understand what an uprising is, that means that they will no longer stay in the low frequencies. So they are rising up. And this takes a vibrational shift. We must step up in our frequencies for this to happen. And then it's spread all over the world. And this is one of the most important parts to witness and realize what's happening. So the occupations, or the occupies, when we understand that significance of what it means. And a lot of people don't even, and it started in Egypt, they don't even realize what they're standing for in regards, but they say enough of this. We are done with this paradigm, and we are asking for a great shift. And we don't have to know what's going to come in next. All we have to do is literally say no and to force the changes to come. And then it will start revealing itself. And this is where we understand the shift in the paradigms. And we have to dismantle the old systems. And in that moment of dismantling for the evolution or the new paradigm to come in, there is an illusion of chaos. When everything dismantles, it looks chaotic. But in that chaos comes creation. So this is where it gets really beautiful. Once I continue my journey from Egypt, I am going to Jordan, and then I will end up in Israel. And Israel, for me, was something very profound. The message was so clear, was to return to Jerusalem. And when I heard that message, I kind of smiled, because this physical body has not been to Jerusalem. And I feel it's important to share the intimacy of my own journey, to bring a relation and that level of intimacy and compassion that I share to all of you who watch this video. And that's the most important part, is to really understand the true meanings. And I was very resistive about arriving to Jerusalem until I went very deep. I went very, very deep, and then I heard it so clearly, is to go to Jerusalem, go to the rock. And then when I realized what the rock, the significance of the rock and the sacredness of the dome on the rock, and considered one of the most powerful sites on this planet, it all makes sense. So I'm embracing it. I say yes. I completely surrendered, and when I completely surrendered, that's when the miracles flooded into my life. The last 2 weeks have been absolutely amazing. I will leave for nearly a month, and I was able to bring everything in my life into balance. And that was the most important. That's all I focused on, was bringing balance to my life, before I depart, to bring balance to everyone involved in my life. And this is where it's really amazing, and I have an incredible story to share with the group in Egypt, in regards to what it took me in my own personal journey to arrive. So this is wonderful, and this is one of the things that I ask everyone to share, is their own intimate journey, and talk about the obstacles or the miracles that actually came along the path. And this is very important, is to understand there are many paths, many roads to the great path. And we could choose the smoothest, most amazing, or we can choose the most rocky and unstable. But you will arrive no matter what, as long as you set that intention, and that is your quest. And you will see nothing getting in your way. And that's the weaving, that what we understand. When we get to when we arrive and we are all there, that's what we can share, because we all took different paths, but we all ended up in the same place. And this is very important. This is part of the 11-11-11 message for all of you on the planet. Please spread this consciously. Let people, it doesn't matter, no prejudging. We want to remove judgments from any thoughts. And whoever you feel guided to send this to or to post it, please do so. Let the words that I speak resonate with the ones that are choosing to click on this. And I thank you greatly, and I work and to hold the highest level of compassion to everyone before me and all life on this planet. And that's one of the greatest gifts, is to practice loving kindness to all life on this planet. It seems simple, but then when we truly start doing that work, we realize what an incredible, sometimes difficult path it is to truly be in loving kindness to all life on this planet. But it can be done, and we make the steps forward within our own life to do this. So I will leave you with this, and much gratitude, and I will see you on the other side. Blessings.